Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. It's a new day, but we're riding that same kind of infectious, distilled chaos energy that has made the last couple of videos very interesting. Very interesting indeed. 818VB7XP. What a world we got going on here with the scissors. The scissors, I will note, an item that I skipped an item room in one of my videos recently. Accidentally. Two of my videos, actually, but the other one hasn't gone out yet. So I haven't, the bill for that one has not come due yet. But on this one, I left an item room behind. You never want to leave your, oh my god, we win. You never want to leave your first floor item room behind, obviously. I was vindicated slightly that the item, somebody went into the seed and looked and it ended up being scissors, which essentially has no impact. But still, you know. That's like putting $1 into the slot machine and then just walking away, you know? Should you be putting $1 into the slot machine no matter what? You could argue perhaps not, but if you're putting $1 in the slot machine and not making a pull, you've lost your mind. You gotta at least make the pull at that point. Okay, hold on. This is, I'm trying to like contextualize where we're at in this run. Our stats were already like pretty good, but Tech X is just like so unbelievably good. Of course we're gonna take this with no red hard containers. We lose essentially nothing of value and gain some HP. Well worth it in my world. Can I tell you I had a very interesting story at the gym today? For real. For real this time. It wasn't just like, oh, it's a little busy. Ah, not busy today, huh? Weird. But anyway, it was, I would describe it as low traffic day at the gym. 4 squat racks were empty almost the entire time that I was in there using them. However, while I was squatting at the rack, not, you know, privately in the bathroom, a gentleman, you know, maybe actually a couple of years younger than me, it's kind of hard to tell, took the squat rack next to mine, very, like, deliberately looked at the weight that I had on the bar, added the exact same amount of weight onto his bar, and then started squatting it, which is whatever. You know, it's not like I'm squatting 800 pounds and I'm the only dude at the gym who's capable of doing it, you know. But it's just a little strange to me. And then, what was even stranger is that every time he would have like a rest period, you know, after you squat for whatever, how many reps you're doing in that set, you take some time off to look at your phone and get yelled at by boomers who for some reason believe that you should just stare into outer space and think about nothing when you're doing nothing for 120 seconds. But rather than look at his phone, the guy was looking at me and smiling. And it was... wasn't saying it was starting to freak me out. That's a little bit too far. Like, it wasn't like a horror movie, but it was a little bit like a creepypasta. I was like, this guy... what's going on here? Is this like a friendly thing where he's like, hey, check it out, we squat the same amount. Let's be friends. Or is this something where he's like, hey, dude, just want you to know, you're not hot stuff just because you're squatting this much. And I'm like, dude, I really don't care. I don't think I'll ever see you again in my entire life, hopefully. Just strange. Just a strange situation. And then I tweeted about it, and I said, what am I supposed to do with this dude who keeps looking at me and smiling during the rest sets? And then literally, like, you know, when I was done, I moved to a different part of the gym. A different gentleman came up to me, nice guy, and said, hey, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just want to let you know I'm a big fan. Which was very nice, and we shook hands, which in hindsight I probably should not have done because we're dealing with, you know, potentially the rise of a global epidemic here. We should have just done like an elbow tap or something like that. And beyond that, I think my hands were sweaty, so I feel bad. Sasha, if you're watching, I feel bad for that one. I hope that they weren't too sweaty. I want you to know I have no flu-like symptoms right now, so, you know, unless I'm a dormant carrier, you got nothing to worry about in that department. But then I realized, oh no, I have to make a clarification tweet. Otherwise, this very nice guy is gonna be like, oh man, and it's gonna be like one of those copy pastas, you know? I met NL at the gym, and he said, oh, I didn't want to bother you. Oh, like you do it right now? You know, electrical inference. So I made a tweet and I was like, Sasha, just so you know, my tweet was not talking about you. So I hope that that situation got resolved. The lesson here is never tweet. By the way, you might take it as a little bit of a flex that I am, oh, look at me, I got recognized at the gym. I get recognized everywhere. I don't really get recognized anywhere. Or everywhere, I should say. Probably happens like once every 6 weeks would be, I think, a realistic thing. And I think I get recognized disproportionately more in Vancouver because I talk about Vancouver stuff in some of my videos. So I think, you know, if you're listening and you're from like Philadelphia, you're like, oh, this guy's like reasonably entertaining. But if you listen, you're from Vancouver, Burnaby, New West, you know, Richmond, etc., etc. No offense, Langley. You might be like, oh, he's somewhat entertaining, little old, but he's also talking about my city. So, you know, it gets you maybe a little bit more, get a little bit more attention from the home team. You know what I mean? Doesn't happen on the regular, though. That's what I'm trying to say. Just now and then. So that's my day so far. I really got, you know, nothing else going on, but it was kind of a, it was an interesting start. I like a noteworthy start to the day. I mean, I've been in like a, normally, again, I've had to make this distinction very clear. People think I'm grumpy because I have a resting grumpy face, to put it in YouTube-friendly terms. I'm not a grumpy individual. For the most part, I'm, you know, I wouldn't describe myself as happy-go-lucky. And, you know, privately, I oscillate between being so proud of the human race and being just, like, gravely misanthropic. But in terms of, like, my daily disposition and mood, it's good. But I've been on a roll lately for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on, but I'm enjoying it. Even today, like, I woke up like an hour before my alarm and was like, I feel amazing. I don't know what to say. I hope it's infectious. I hope you're getting a good infection instead of a bad infection. Upon saying that, my eye has become itchy, but I'm like trying not to touch my face, because, you know, that's how you know, one of the easiest ways for a disease vector to get inside of your body, and yet it's so itchy. I'm like, how could I not? I want to be clear, by the way. I am like, you might think that saying that makes me a germaphobe. I am, you can ask Malf. I'm basically the furthest thing from a germaphobe. I mean, I'm not a germophile. You know, I'm not like chasing the infection or something like that, but, you know, for the most part, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, you may remember, I have previously held the absolutely ridiculous opinion that food poisoning is a myth, which I will just again reiterate for anybody who didn't listen. That was just the headline. The headline was that it's a myth. The reality of what I was saying is that it's not a myth, but people self-diagnose different things as food poisoning that are not necessarily food poisoning, and then blame, you know, Taco Bell for it. I think we will take this, and I actually think we'll hold it for now. Honestly, we're so quick, we might as well explore the rest of this floor. Especially with golden bombs. I'm not really this guy, you know, I'm not gonna fish on every single opportunity for magic mush, but it, you know, it wouldn't hurt. Of course, I mean, how could it? But yeah, it's been a good time lately. It's been nice. I realize, like, you know, I'm lucky to have so many fun series on YouTube right now that recording is really like, it's never been a drag for me, except for like very rare exceptions. Like when you have a sore throat or like you sound very hoarse, then yeah, it can be kind of, you know, it's not your favorite place to be, because even if you feel good, your throat is like betraying your thoughts, you know what I mean? Might as well. We do have humbling bundles, so why not? But, you know, I've always liked recording. I like streaming too. But having so many new series to play on the regular is helping out as well. And I'm really liking this Golden Goblet setup where we play, like, you know, 7 different games that are all linked thematically by, you know, some kind of, you know, similarity. Like they're all on the NES or they're all in a minigame collection or whatever. It's been fun. It's been a very fun time. Last night I drafted up And I don't know, I'm thinking about how to like distribute this list, because I want to put it on YouTube because it'll get more attention and kind of like, I mean, that's the point really. But I drafted a list of like subscriber milestones, because, you know, I'm all in on, for lack of a better word, and a word that makes me cringe a lot, but I'm all in on the grind right now. I'm enthusiastic about what I'm doing. I'm willing to work for it. So I drafted up a list of like subscriber milestones, you know, for like 815,000, 820,000, 825, all the way up to like 850. And some of them are like just little one-off videos like, hey, let's go back and play some Split or Steal. Let's go back and play some, you know what? People have always wanted me to play Planet Zoo, and I've been like, I don't really know if there's a place for it. Well, might be a place for it if it's, you know, an incentive for me to, you know, get like 825,000 subscribers or whatever. People have always wanted to see me play more horror games, you know. Maybe we'll fit in a horror game at a certain level. Maybe even play some stuff outside of our wheelhouse, like a visual novel and, you know, so on and so forth. Just trying a bunch of new things, basically. But you'd be surprised. It was tough to think of milestones that were not, like, meaningless, if that makes sense. Like, the intersection of stuff that, like, I want to do, plus people want to see. I don't think there's a dearth of ideas there. I think you just have to be creative. Like, one of the things, and it's the thing that's garnered the most attention from the... I tweeted out, like, a preliminary list of those that is subject to change. But one of the things I thought could be fun is, like, hey, you know, for, like, a minor-ish subscriber milestone, what if I released a video of the first ever League of Legends game? I've never played a League of Legends game before in my entire life. Let's test my diagonal walking skills. Okay, we've lost a little. Why not give it a shot? And, you know, it's not going to be for everybody, but I think it could be fun. So that's like, I'm trying to think a little bit more creatively, like along those lines. It was funny to me, though. Don't take offense to this. It's not meant to be offensive, merely like observational, but... You know, people were like, I think the League of Legends video is going to be a snoozer, and it might invite some toxicity, and, you know, etc., etc., etc. And I'm like, man, the whole video... Oh, you know what? Just suck that one up. I'll take the luck. The whole video is going to take, like, less than an hour to make. And there's already been 5,000 words written about it online. It doesn't have to... I'm getting into this mindset of, like, do more, say a lot less. You know, I'm realizing how little even, like, my own opinion matters to me to some extent, if that makes sense. For YouTube specifically, like, in real life, if you were like, oh, you want to, you know, buy into my terrible business idea? We're going to revolutionize Facebook, you know? Then I would think long and hard about how to most politely deliver a no. But when it comes to making a video, I'm like, man, the video's going to be, you know, 15 to 60 minutes long. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, okay. So what did we lose at the end of the day there? Nothing tangible. You know, unless you make a video that's truly terrible. Like, you know, extremely ill-advised, and I'll let you fill in the blanks for, you know, what that could be. Some YouTubers have done it in the past. Most of the time, I think it tends to be a pretty poor, both business and personal decision, but what do I know, you know? What do we got here? We got a 1 in 3 chance that converted nicely, and Krampus probably, I don't know, I felt the Krampus. I smelled him through the screen, dude. You know, I think we actually will take Krampus's head. I think that it's, it offers enough to be interesting. Guppy's head is, or sorry, Guppy's paw is more like, you know, if we, let me put it this way. We were replacing the scissors. So when you look at it in context, yeah, that's why we took Guppy's head, is because the scissors... I mean, the scissors doesn't even get the effect of... And we might as well go in on this one, I think. No, we don't need that. I think this is better. The scissors doesn't even get the effect of Tech X, which is honestly just kind of bogus in my world, but... You know, I don't make the game. It's okay. I just play the game. It's really a much easier job, to be honest. I'm not trying to act like, you know, honestly, I'd rather be on this side of the screen than the other side of the screen. Any day of the week. Trinket Smelter, I'm stoked for. I hope we can make something happen with Trinket Smelter. I really thought that would be a second secret room, but whatever. It is what it is. So I'm going to use Joker immediately, just because I'm impatient like that. We could use it... Oh, and I think I'm happy with it, although... We already had shots that pierced, but... I think damage is... damage is the main currency today. Damage is the lingua franca. Which even as I said that, I cringed, because I'm like, I'm sure it's lingua franca, right? That's gotta be the pronunciation. Frank. Lingua franca. Anyway, we don't need to fixate on that. That's okay. What do you got for me? You got a gift? I will take this gift, and I will get PhD, which is honestly pretty okay. Comes with lemon party. Honestly, hold the lemon party. I don't think I need it. And I really don't think, at this point, we probably don't really need Trinket Smelter. I know we just bought it. But I think, you know, we've already smelted 2 trinkets. I think we'll be better off taking Jar of Flies with us for a little bit of a damage boost. But, like, in comparison to a lot of the runs we've done recently, this one is pretty much set from the get-go. Like, this one is not gonna go belly up. It's almost impossible to fathom. Pretty much since we picked up Tech X, it was like, it's not doable. There are situations in which I would regret giving up Trinket Smelter, but I think if you really, like, puzzle it out, if you really think about the parameters involved, what would it take? It would take us finding 2 great trinkets to be disappointed. Because if we get 1 great trinket, sure, we'll swap this trinket, which is more or less pretty much useless. as to be honest, most trinkets in the game are. So I think it would really, ignoring the fact, or downplaying the fact that you do get a bonus in efficacy on the trinket. Yo, you love to see it, dude. Just from having Trinket Smelter being active. I think it would take a situation where we really get, like, insanely good trinkets, like a lit bulb plus like curved horn, or, you know, the cancer trinket or something like that. Okay, so we do have boss rush access, but do I care? No, 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 no. It's close. Like, you know, I do like I mean, Mysterious Liquid, if we had real tears, I think could be worth it, but an item has to be really good to justify going to boss rush at this stage in my young life. Alright, get me out of here. And this is, I feel like I always undergo like a mood change when we go down to this floor. Now I'm looking at my HP and I'm like, well, you know what? There is a chance we could screw this up. I think we're 1 speed upgrade away from feeling pretty much 100% dialed. 1 speed is just... I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, mince words. It's pretty bad. But at the same time, I mean, this is the boss you don't want to fight, for sure. Which means it seems... I honestly, I would be surprised if this was correct. But it definitely feels sometimes like the matriarch is more likely to spawn on tough runs. But it's probably... No, we already have a similar item. We can't really afford that one. It's probably a situation where you only notice it, obviously, when you actually are closer to death, but it just really makes you think, you know? Really makes you think. Doesn't really make you think. Yeah, we'll check. And you know what? I would describe that as a pretty great trinket for us right now. Today is a Monday, by the way. Always like a Monday. Like, to be honest with you, my weeks go by real fast these days, which is always a positive thing. You know, if your days are going... when I think back personally to, like, times in my life where days have gone by very slowly, it's usually, like, a combination of, like, boredom, malaise, you know, dysthymia, stuff like that, imbalanced humors, etc., etc. When days go by fast, I think it's like a positive... It's usually a positive sign. But like Monday to Thursday goes by so quickly for me. Like, I always, on Monday, I have, like, grand plans for the week. I think this is very relatable. And then, like, you know, Thursday night rolls around, because I'm pretty busy through all 4 of those days. And I'm like, man, I did some of this stuff, but, like, the time really got away from me. Like, my number one text, I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but my number one text to my mom is, like, sorry, this week got away from me. Can I call on Saturday? She'll, and this is bad. It's not a good habit. Yes, I am busy, but she is also my mom, and I, you know, should just write it on, like, a whiteboard or something like that. But, you know, on, like, Wednesday, she'll text me and be like, hey, can we call? Like, not immediately, but, you know, at some point soon. And then, I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. How about, you know, tonight? And then tonight rolls around and I'm like, sorry, I got things on the go. I gotta get better about that. I mean, I didn't really want to make it a downer. Like, I have a good relationship with my parents, just in general. You know, I could be better about that. And I've gotten better over the years, too. It used to be, and I think this is, you know, even more embarrassing. You know, she would send me a text that's like, hey, you know, can we talk? It's never, like, bad news. You know, it's just like, you know, let's catch up. And, I would look, and this is very common for me back in the day. I would look at, like, the text and be like, I'll respond to that later, and then just never respond, you know? Very, very bad habit. It's been one of my, like, new decade resolutions, really. Is if I see something I want to respond to it right away. And it's much better, you know, you don't build it up in your head, you know? If you can respond to an email... I still have strong opinions on unsolicited emails requiring a response. But, you know, if you have a business relationship or a personal relationship with somebody and they send you an email, just respond, dude. You can respond in 1 minute. You don't have to run your email through Grammarly necessarily. It depends what you're doing. At the same time, don't take this the wrong way, because I've been roasted for this one. You know, I get emailed dozens of times a day, unsolicited, for things like, you know, some of it is like, hey, you know, we made a game. It would be cool if you played it. Here's a code. Oh my god, that face, dude. But some of it is like, you know, we're a keyboard manufacturer, and here's a press release of our, you know, we're releasing a new gamer esports keyboard. And I'm like, dude, sometimes they bump the post, you know, they're like, hey, just following up on this. And I'm like, following up on what? Like, I don't really feel bad about not responding, but I'm also just, like, not sure what you want from me. What do you want me to make a video and be like, you know, this company's coming out with a new keyboard? It's not really... I don't know if that's really what anybody does. There might be like 5 channels on YouTube that do that. But anyway. A solicited email or, you know, from somebody that you've talked to in the past, you know, you should definitely reply to that. And I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on it. Nobody likes to be left on read, you know? On read? I prefer to say, well, read doesn't make sense. I'll give you that. But I don't like to say nobody likes to be left unread, because it sounds like unread. Like, it's hard for me to describe this because I don't think I possess the linguistical acumen necessary. But left on read is slightly different, although means a similar thing, than left unread. Hold on, now I'm looking at this and I'm like, are we gonna die? Because I don't think Monkey's Paw can actually work for us here. So just maybe, like, be cool. Don't panic. Look, the run is so good, nobody is going to listen to what I have to say, which is that 1 speed is a real killer in a situation like this. So just instead, keep it moving. kill this boss, get a spirit heart. See, we don't need to worry about it. Temporarily, though, I was like, oh my god, this would be it would be a devastating loss. I knew it was coming. That's the hard part, is just figuring out the appropriate dodge opportunities down here. But then again, you know, we wouldn't have to worry about it so much if I hadn't lost a bunch of HP that was probably completely preventable. Yeah, like that one, for example. Well, there you go. We've navigated a run safely. Feels good, man. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. That was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!